Hiya, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rosie Henshaw, and if you're new here, then welcome guys. And if you're already existing, then thank you so much for coming back. So grab yourselves a nice cup of tea and some snacks, and let's get into today's video, which is me deciding to panel the living room. I'd done this during the 6 weeks holidays with the 4 children at home, which was probably a bit of a mistake looking back, but I'm so happy with the results, and I'm going to show you how I achieved the look super inexpensively by doing it myself. So let's get in. So as we get in, you're going to need a plank of wood, roughly how wide you want your gaps to be if you're panelling away from the wall and in between, and a pencil. Mine is 7 centimetres, and what I've done is use this as a guide the whole way down and marked off my boxes where I wanted them to be. Now my room is kind of an odd shape, and we have got like the fireplace and stuff to work around, but I found 7 centimetres to be the perfect height from the dado rail up, down from the picture rail, and at the sides and in the gaps. This will be a perfect tool for you to use, especially if you get a lovely straight piece of wood. It's a good way to work. Obviously do measure this with a spirit level to make sure that it's all level, but doing it this way will save you lots of time and energy. Just make sure you measure off first roughly the gap you want it to be, and then get your wood cut down to that size, and then you can use that as the perfect measuring tool. So once I've measured, make sure that it's all straight on the smaller walls. I'm now onto this larger wall here. Now you can go for as many boxes as you'd like. I'm actually going to go for 3 on this wall, so a large one in the centre and then 2 either side. I think odd numbers look better on that kind of thing. I also wrote Millie in to help me measure the sizes of the boxes so I can work out how much wood I'm actually going to need. By drawing a little template, this actually really helps to know how much wood you're going to need as well. So then me and Albert headed to B&Q to go pick up all our moulding. These actually come in 2.4 metre lengths, so you're not going to need as many as you initially think, because obviously that's quite a lot of wood. We bought it and then we took it home. So I've got my supplies, guys. I got these bits of moulding, so they're really nice patterned ones. And these are from B&Q. They're 2.4 metres by 3 metres, well, 3 centimetres. I also got a mitre toolbox, and it comes with a saw. I got some couple bottles of caulk, decorator's caulk. I got a couple bottles of grab adhesive, and then I also got some brass light switches ready to do the walls as well. There are more of these bits of wood, by the way. It's just because obviously I've got them in the car. I'm going to get Gary get them out, but I'm sweaty now because I've just been there to get all the bits that I need. So now we've got all of our measurements and all of our wood. I'm just going to mark off all the lengths they need to be before cutting them down. And when I do get to cut them down, as you'll see here, I'm going to do a close-up. We're going to be cutting them at 45-degree angles. This is where your mitre box is going to come in so handy. These are about £4 or £5 in B&Q. This one actually come with a saw, and they've got the perfect 45-degree angles to make the perfect corner. Now just set it down in the mitre box, and at the very corner, put your saw in. I actually would recommend getting a better saw. This one was awful. It could have been to do with the fact that I basically picked something that resembled more of a dado rail than a piece of moulding. It was super thick and really hard. By one wall, I was absolutely exhausted of doing all these cuts. So now it's time to stick these onto the wall. Now, what you stick these on the wall with does depend on what your walls are already like. Mine are really old, solid brick walls, and to be honest with you, trying to get a nail in these walls is just way too hard. I wouldn't be able to use a nail gun, that wouldn't work. And also when I have to tap them in, it would take ages. So I'm going to be using grab adhesive with this. I just got the cheapest one from B&Q and just put a few blobs on the back by putting it into my caulking gun. I found this worked best for me, but if you do have drywall, it might be better, or plasterboard, it might be better to actually do this with nails, as you can then peel them out without damaging the wall afterwards. is we already had a dado rail here. To be honest with you, probably going to have to replace this just because it was done so shoddily. Not my work. Using a miter box and hand saw to do this. I've actually hurt my shoulder from doing so much last night. So I'm going to be using the miter saw. I wanted to show you that you can do it with a miter box though, because it literally costs about £5. You get one from B&Q with the saw with it. But I am going to be, hence why I've got the dodgy goggles. So today I am going to be using the miter saw today. That's what I'm going to be using. So I'm up, showered, dressed in just something comfy, ready to go. I've just measured this out. So the bottom part, I'm going for 30 centimetres less long height, shall I say. So I've measured it out. I'm going to have another 2 there. I also changed the plug socket this morning while the kids were in bed because I thought I could turn off the main switch. I changed the light switch as well. Here the kids are off, so there's lots of stuff going on around the house. So I changed that before because the other light switch box was slightly larger, just to make sure that I can butt right up to it. So yeah, measured that now and gonna get in. So now I'm onto the electric miter saw. It's the same principle as what you would be doing with a miter box. You can actually twist this so you can have the 45-degree angles towards the left or to the right. And yeah, I just chopped all the wood here and it did save my shoulder.
Everybody has their job, 9 to 5 and getting drained. They settle for second best, scared to risk what the future might bring. What the future might bring. I hold my breath, waiting for someone to knock at my door.
So I just cut out the little space it needed for the plug, and now these 2 walls are finished. I'm going to be going on to the other side now, so I'm going to be changing the plug socket on this side first so that I can get the perfect size what I need to cut around.
If I love you harder than I've ever done before, oh, maybe I belong somewhere above the if I love all the ways the world puts me to the test, if I embrace every fall, learn to grow and keep myself tall, would it hurt at all? I hold my breath, waiting for someone to knock at my door. For
surprise. We're on to the next morning. Guys, this has took me so long, and this is so early in the morning I'm filming this part. I completely forgot to show you me caulking the walls. So I caulked the walls last night. That's just to make the wood look like it's seamlessly fitted to the walls. I'm sure there'll be a tutorial on YouTube. I completely forgot to film it. So I'm just going over with my Zinstabin stain blocker paint. This will prime the wood and also stop all the knots from coming through. And then I'm going in over the top with the colour that's already on the walls. This is called Sling It Hook by Valspar, and it's a lovely beige colour, really, really nice. And actually it's making the panelling just look so, so lovely. So now we're all finished. This is the before. I wanted to just show you a little shot of all the walls being nice and plain before I'd done the panelling. And here is after. So I really do think it adds a warmth to the room. I'm really happy with it. I've even bought some new cushions. Some are yet to come, so the infills are just sat here for the moment. It just adds like a warmth and coziness to the room. This shelf on the wall that's been bolted in, it would have been too hard to take down because it's gone right through the brick. So we wanted it even boxes either side, but it has left a slightly larger gap near the door frame here. So I am thinking of making a chunky architrave by cutting in here and in this section here and just adding a lot more wood to the edge to make like a thicker architrave around the door. But obviously may do that once the kids are back to school. I'm just so happy with how it looks. I do need a little tidy up because there's lots of toys and stuff in here. Now you will see on this wall that the walls do actually need another coat of paint. They are quite patchy, but we are having a bespoke corner TV unit made here instead of having these two cupboards by our carpenter. So you can see where the panelling's done on that side that I've done it, and then the built-in cupboard will be on the other side. I'm also thinking of getting a coffee table and then perhaps getting some like nice light linen Roman blinds at the top here to make it feel really cosy. So a little coffee table and a corner unit, and then my Christmas tree can go in that corner when it's finished. I'm just so happy with this room, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this too. I've been Rosie Henshaw. Take care. See you later. Bye.